find the idea of occupying Mars implausible. If it's so unrealistic, why do tech billionaires like Musk believe that going to Mars is not only doable, but a moral imperative?
You know, Musk wants us to go to Mars as a backup for humanity in case an asteroid hits Earth. Mars gets hit by more asteroids than Earth does because it's closer to the asteroid belt. It's a terrible place, right? The radiation is too high, the gravity is too low, there's no air, and the dirt is made of poison. And that's not even like a full list of all of the problems with Mars. You know, if you were on the surface of Mars without a spacesuit, you would die almost instantly. You know, you would asphyxiate as the saliva on your tongue boiled off because the air pressure is less than 1% that of Earth and there's no oxygen. And if you were in a spacesuit hanging out on the surface of Mars, you would still die, like assuming you had all the food and water you needed, you'd still die in a few years because the radiation levels are way, way, way too high, because the things that protect us from radiation here on Earth, the Earth's magnetosphere and atmosphere, Mars doesn't have those. And so you'd have to live underground in pressurized tunnels, somehow keep all of that toxic dust out of your habitat. Musk wants to terraform Mars. We don't have the technology to do that. The schemes that he has proposed for doing it absolutely do not work. He's been told that over and over again, and he just denies it. And
let me give you a pushback. What if he's Christopher Columbus, right? Don't go, you know, or you're going to fall off this thing of the Earth. But, you know, that I've heard that from them.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so a couple of things. First of all, like the myth of Christopher Columbus, you know, proving the Earth is round, that's a myth, right? Most people...
That's correct. That's what I wanted you to say.
People at the time knew that the Earth was round. And so the reason people were pushing back on Columbus's scheme was not that they thought the Earth was flat and that he'd fall off, but that they actually knew how big the Earth was, because that's also something we've known for a very long time. And so they said, you're going to starve. If you go that way, you're not bringing enough provisions. You are going to starve before you get to Asia. And he would have starved if the Americas had not been there, but the Europeans didn't know that the Americas were there. Columbus had an inaccurate estimate of how large the Earth was. He got very, very lucky that the Americas were there, and then, you know, went and killed off an enormous number of people to the point where, like, even by the European standards of his time, people thought that he was being incredibly brutal. And so, you know, you could say that the only thing that Musk and Columbus have in common is that they're both horribly racist. And also, with all of the difficulties that Columbus faced, what he wanted to do was still much, 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 much easier than what Musk is trying to do. Musk doesn't really know anything about space. He doesn't know anything about Mars. If he did, he would know that everything he has said about Mars is a complete fantasy.